So you just got engaged. Congratulations. Now comes the fun and exciting part of planning an entire wedding over the next several months. What venue to pick, who to invite, where to seat them, what to eat, what to drink, what music do we dance to, who will be my maid of honor, dress shopping, color schemes. What if Uncle Joey brings that skanky girlfriend of his? What if it rains? Okay, back up. So you just got engaged. Congratulations. Now you find yourself here, scouring the internet for all sorts of information about how to take on a gigantically huge task of planning an entire wedding down to the smallest, most important detail. Well, fear not, my courageous bride or groom. I will spend the next few minutes easing all of your anxieties about the planning process and give you the best plan of attack on how to tackle this endeavor piece by piece. Hello everyone, my name is Bill Rice and I am a Tampa-based wedding and portrait photographer, and I have owned and operated Bill Rice Photography since 2006. In that time, I have photographed over 700 weddings, countless engagement sessions, tons of family portraits, and pretty much everything else under the sun. Now, my focus of this channel is to help and educate you, future brides and grooms, about how to plan, execute, and enjoy your dream wedding. I have literally seen it all when it comes to weddings, and I want to share the good, the bad, and the ugly to help you along your journey in the planning process. So please give this video a like and consider subscribing to help my channel grow so I will be able to spread my messages to other people here just like you who are planning their weddings. Believe it or not, planning your wedding should be a fun and creative activity. However, many couples get overwhelmed in the planning process because they tend to look at the task as one big giant endeavor instead of individual tasks you can conquer one by one. Because of this reason, I have created a 12-month wedding checklist to ensure an easier and much more enjoyable planning process that you and your partner can partake in together. Yes, it is ideal to have a year to plan an entire wedding, but it's definitely possible to do it in a much shorter duration. But a little bit more on that later. So let's go through this outline together, and you'll see that by prioritizing different tasks each month, you will greatly ease the planning process by hitting target goals in the order of importance while resolving the more time-sensitive issues first. I also want to let you know where you can download this guide we're about to discuss in PDF format to help you along the way. I have linked my website resources page in the description below. Or you can just head on over to billricephoto.com and navigate your way to my wedding resource page. I'm only going to talk about some of the key details of every month. Most of the topics are self-explanatory, but I want to elaborate on some of the topics a bit more in depth. So let's get started. First, you'll see that this guide has the planning process spaced out to activities you should be concentrating on in 2-month intervals, meaning even if you fall behind in some months, you'll technically have 2 months to complete the tasks. Now, the more time-sensitive topics are completed in the beginning of your planning. In the wedding industry, many of these individuals and vendors are booked over a year in advance. So to assure you get the right vendors, you'll want them done as soon as possible. So if we look at the first one right after the engagement, the most flexible thing is your wedding date. Instead of picking a wedding date, maybe pick a wedding month, because you might find a venue that you fall in love with, and your date that you've decided on in your head, October 17th, might be taken at that venue. So maybe a week before or a week after that Saturday or Sunday or Friday will be open. Hiring a wedding planner and setting your budget kind of go hand in hand. Right off the bat, it's very hard to set a wedding budget. People don't know $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000. Who knows? Hiring a wedding planner, they're going to help you dial in that exact number with your venue location, your possible guest count, and all of the bells and whistles or lack of bells and whistles on your wedding. Start researching your vendors. Now, you're going to want to definitely book your photographer, videographer, church, synagogue, priest, officiant, probably your DJ right away, because those people in the industry, they do book out over a year in advance. So in the 12 months out, book your venue. That's the first thing you want to do. If you don't have a venue, you don't have someplace to get married. You can announce your wedding on social media. That's up to you. Now, this isn't a save the date or anything you mail out. It's just an announcement. Start making a guest list. I would say put together your perfect guest list of everybody that you want. And then over the course of time, before you send out the invites, you can narrow that down mostly based on budget, because headcount will greatly dictate the cost of a wedding. Book your photographer, book your videographer, book catering. You're going to want to eat at your wedding. So again, catering, florist, videographer, photographer, officiant, and other entertainment. Other entertainment could be a mariachi band, or something real popular in weddings right now is have a live painting. My friend in San Diego, Sergio Gutierrez, he actually does live paintings at weddings, and he also sings and plays guitar. He's phenomenal, very talented individual. Book your bar also, if it's not included. 10 months out, what could we hit on here? Hair and makeup is probably the most important thing, because they seem to book out also over a year in advance. 10 months out is probably safe. You could do book hair and makeup, and you can start doing your test trials and getting ideas on how you want to look on your wedding. 7 months out, pretty self-explanatory. Book rehearsal dinner, plan bachelor or bachelorette party, and decide on best man and maid of honor. That is going to be a big one. 6 months out is the most important one on here, is save the dates. You're going to want to send save the dates out 6 months before your wedding, and then that gives people the heads up of, hey, we're getting married in October, so start looking at flights, start getting the time off for work if you need to travel. Another fun one is create a song list for the DJ. Now, the DJ is going to have great suggestions on what they should play during your wedding, but you are going to want to definitely pick your walking down the aisle song, your maybe recession from the ceremony song, your grand entrance song, your first dance song, mother-son song, father-daughter dance, maybe a song to play during the cake cutting, songs to play during events like garter and bouquet toss. So you're going to want those songs a little bit more specific to your tastes, but your DJ will know what songs work and when to get people on the dance floor to energize the crowd. 4 months out, book wedding night accommodations. That's probably the most important there. Where are you going to stay the night of your wedding? You're going to want to have something booked close to the venue, probably. 2 months out, this is when you want to send your wedding invitations. 2 months is standard, industry standard for getting people their invitations and giving them a set time to RSVP, so that you can give your venue and coordinator your final head count, which is very important to your day. 1 week out, you should have by now have done a master timeline coordination schedule with all of your vendors. Now, you're going to have delivery times. You're going to have, what time is the cake going to get there? What time is the limo picking you up from the hotel to go to your venue? What time is the ceremony starting? What time is the ceremony ending? What time are family photos? What time's your grand entrance? What time is dinner service start? This is something that you will do with your vendors. The most important vendors that are going to be there for your day of itinerary is your wedding coordinator, your DJ, your videographer, and your photographer. Because we kind of you're in our hands most of the day. Other people will need to be keyed in on when those times happen, or when things are happening at that time, but definitely with those aforementioned. Now, the day before, I know you're going to be very excited and you're not going to be able to sleep. Get a good night's sleep. Eat the night before. Your body will thank you. Get a mani-pedi, checks and organized tip envelopes. If you're going to tip your vendors, that's something that you can give to your wedding coordinator. That will hand them out accordingly. Another really important one on here is have copies of the permits on you. Now, I've ran into times photographing at parks or beaches and stuff where the couple had a permit for that location, but there were people camped out there having a barbecue, having a family picnic, and we couldn't legally ask them to relocate because they didn't have the copy of the permit on them, and they had to travel 45 minutes back home. Not them, but somebody in the wedding had to go to their house, pick up the actual permit, come back, show the park ranger, and the park ranger said, okay, thank you, and ask those people to vacate the spot. So that's what it took, because the people were very not nice. Another thing on here, bring a nice wooden hanger for especially the brides and the bridesmaids. Bring some nice hangers, because as a photographer, when I come to do your getting ready photos, I love to hang up all your dresses and display them really nice with the bride's dress in the middle and the bridesmaids' dresses and the flower girls' dresses. And hotel hangers are not pretty. So get some kind of nice wooden hangers or ornate or decorative hangers. So there it is. Easy, right? Now, if you only have 3 or 6 months to plan, it's still very possible. All you need to do is prioritize the activities from the 12 months and 10 months into the 5 months and 6 months. The final months and weeks will fall into place accordingly. Just accept and realize that if you have a shorter time to plan your wedding, you will be much more limited on venue, location, and vendor choices. You may also need to settle having your wedding on a Friday or Sunday for some of these options to open back up. Now, having been in this business for so long, I have seen all of the back-end planning that wedding planners, DJs, florists, videographers, cake decorators, all of your wedding professionals who perform and do these jobs many times each year. Now, if this is your first wedding, you will quickly understand all of the moving parts of a wedding and just how much planning will go into your special day. That said, I have photographed many different levels of weddings in my career. Couples that plan everything themselves to couples who hire professionals to do all of the planning for them. Usually, mostly, quite always, the couples who use professionals will have a much better planning experience, wedding experience, and they take far less Tylenol. So trust your vendors, but do the research on each vendor you plan on hiring and entrusting to make your wedding go as smoothly as possible. Now, some weddings go off perfectly, but expect an oops or an uh-oh at your actual wedding day. There is no possible way to guarantee a flawless wedding day. So my advice is just roll with it, and all the planning your wedding professionals have done will make that otherwise catastrophic event turn into that little oops or uh-oh. Now, one final piece of advice. When you wake up on the day of your wedding, let it all go. You have spent the last many months planning, revising, rehearsing, tasting, meeting, pondering, and repondering, I don't think that's a word, every decision you have made. On your wedding day, when you wake up, just trust the process and live in the moment. Brides and grooms always tell me that their wedding day flies by. It'll seem to go by very fast, so enjoy it, live in the present, and take it all in. Thank you for watching.